Shop smart, shop S-smart.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Who the hell are you?
Name's Ash.
This is my boomstick.
So hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, Deadites in Aisle 3. I'm your host as always, Brian Dressel. With me as always is wholly out of order Windows Batman. Matt Zombie Dog. Everett Bergeron Dykes.
Don't know that one.
And neither do I.
It's one of these newer ones.
Yes, I'm still going from top bottom. So this is from 2022. My Southern Family Christmas is a Christmas TV movie.
I was just gonna say that's a TV
Lifetime?
movie.
I was gonna say that sounds like a Lifetime or a Hallmark thing or something.
It says CW,
The new Lifetime.
but it also says Hallmark logo on it. So okay,
Hallmark then.
it's just Team Lifetime, isn't it?
yes. We also have Joel Pizza Papa DeWitt.
Oh, I know that.
I'll take it.
Is
That's
that Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Yes.
He played the pizza guy on the street.
You sure did.
Who beats himself up.
Right.
I can just picture Sam Raimi directing him going, no, hit yourself harder, Bruce. Harder.
Harder, Bruce.
Harder.
With the right hand.
Listen, we got to use this as an after credit sequence, so go nuts.
Really punch yourself. I want to see real blood.
We also have Ryan President Richard M. Nixon Lutens.
Interesting.
Is that 18 and a half?
It is 18 and a half.
I like that one.
I've actually never seen that one.
That was a good one.
I have to imagine him as Nixon is a little weird.
It's funny.
Don't he play Ronald Reagan in like one of the Fargos as well or something? One of the seasons of Fargo.
I've never actually watched any of the seasons of Fargo because I was kind of on this like weird kick if I wasn't watching the shows based on movies because I thought they were all going to be bad, and then I heard Fargo was really good, so maybe I should go watch it.
I mean, like seriously, like the movie's got it's. I think it's Willa Fitzgerald, but the person in context, she's got the only 18 minutes that's missing from the missing Watergate tapes. So that's the setup. So I'll just leave it like that. So what she does with it is pretty funny.
Okay.
I just realized that you guys are talking about a different show than True Detective because that's what first came to mind when you were talking about Fargo. And
Yeah, that was a different show.
okay,
Definitely a different show.
It's a different name.
From what I hear, a much better show. But I never kept watching. I watched the first season of True Detective, like the rest of the world, and then I watched about half of season 2 and stopped altogether, like the majority of the rest of the world.
when there's a whole bunch of hype, I tend to recoil a little bit as a natural reaction.
I get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to dive in, sometimes I don't.
If I'm on the fence of like, you know, am I going to enjoy this? If everyone's like raving about how amazing it is, I'm going to be like, I'll probably be like, I'll give it a miss then.
I don't know.
Because it's like, it's not going to live up to the hype that they're giving it, and I'm already kind of on the fence of whether or not I'm going to enjoy it. And it's like, there's other stuff out there I can watch.
I just took the dive into Severance, and I'm not complaining.
Severance is good.
Severance
season 1 is really good. Season 2,
I'm on episode 4, so
I'm not sure.
season.
I've warmed up to it. About 4 or 5 episodes in, I was like, yeah, I'm okay with this ride.
Yeah,
I've seen
really
the first season. I enjoyed the first season. Like I remember someone was saying it's the best sci-fi series of all time. I was thinking to myself, no.
It's not.
Like,
It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's not sci-fi. I mean, season 2 definitely goes more sci-fi, but it's still like.
I heard it branches pretty good season 2, but
I'm on.
There's a series out there called like The Expanse, which is genuinely fantastic
Sci-fi.
science fiction as well, and it's like realistic science fiction. Like you talk to actual engineers and people who work on space, they're like, yeah, the physics in The Expanse is pretty fucking accurate.
I honestly think that's why I don't like it much. I'm like, this isn't stupid. Make it more stupid. I guess they do have like mold monsters in that, so it does have stupid parts to it, but not. I want more stupid. Let's talk Evil Dead.
Good segue.
That's a very good segue. I want more stupid. Evil Dead.
So this week we are talking Fire in the Hole and Ashes to Ashes. We're getting the return of Bad Ash and Good Ash. We're saying goodbye to some characters, which I'm not too sad to say goodbye to. If you'd asked me last week, I would have been. They have a real big shift in character here. We hinted at it last week. Amanda is what I'll refer to her as from now on because she was Fisher before.
Next week she goes.
Well, she dies next week, but that'll be in this week's recordings.
Dies in next episode, this week's recording. Stop! Yes. Don't refer to it as weeks. That's just confusing.
Did I just get severed?
Before it confused us before. Let's not do it again.
I'm going to say you're going to confuse the 3 listeners we have.
Well, look, we're in the innie right now. The outie is the Ash versus Evil Dead.
I like that. But yeah, so we'll get into the whole Amanda of it all because it's annoying because I really liked the character of Fisher. She was the good straight man of like, what is going on? But then you kind of realize you have a few too many what is going on people, and then they all got into it, so we only had the one, and now she's gone. And then she's double gone. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
First, we got to talk Lem.
First, we got to talk Lem. Lem in his very Freddy Krueger ways. Did anybody else get Freddy Krueger vibes? Is it just me?
I didn't think about it, but it made sense.
Like, is the way he talked. Like, his cadence was very like, I'm going to play with my food. Like,
he looked definitely a little more wrinkly and kind of...
The facial features of this actor really lend itself. The long hair really added something to the character of Lem, but like... You definitely, when it's framed with just his face, you get that kind of feel to it.
Yeah. I like the Lem stuff, though. Like, as somebody who was not a big fan of Freddy, I like it here. It worked out really well. Like,
because he kills way more people than Freddy in this one episode.
Also true.
I just, whoever wrote this, the fact that they put in a militia group just to be cannon fodder, well played. Well played.
They're a fan of this movie.
Yeah.
For those of you just listening, I referenced Jason Lives because I'm wearing that shirt.
But it works out because like you essentially need a filler episode for the traveling to get to the cabin, and the fact that you've got a survivalist group living in the woods to be that little bump along the road. Well played. Like, it makes for a fun episode.
It also makes sense as well. Like, they are going to a camp in the middle of nowhere. What else is in the middle of nowhere usually? Militia camps. Oh,
Crazy
what would
people.
they be? What would they be able to get at a militia camp? Oh, weapons. They need weapons for this battle, so let's go to this militia camp. It all kind of like makes sense, like narratively as well. That's what they would like run into. And you know, we have the good setup in the previous episode of like Lem saying that he joined a militia, so we know that they must be nearby because he's not going to have like joined a militia and then fucked off 100 miles just to go to a bar and have a drink.
Yeah, I thought you had more than that, but yeah, okay.
No,
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Just slowly drink my water.
Yeah. I like that you muted yourself for that. You don't want the glug glug sounds.
Being a little more thoughtful today.
Yeah,
I can see the sounds.
It sometimes makes a dolphin sound. So I was trying to avoid that coming on the. Yeah, it sort of like goes sometimes. Well,
oh, here we go.
Now we have to hear it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yep.
It usually goes on a little. Like, sometimes it goes on long though. It sometimes go.
We're so off the rails.
Much like this episode.
I think what we need is a Venture Brothers cut in.
Big man? Yes, Dean, you're a big man now.
I feel better.
It is unsurprising and expected, but man, when they jump straight to the conspiracy theory about them being from the government.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, yeah. The fact they brought the militia for it, and then the militia is these crazy knuckleheads. Like, I love it. Like, this is unfortunately this is the world we live in now. Those are the people rounding up people on the streets. America.
I mean, that's the thing as well. This is 10 years ago. Like this series like 10 years ago, and it's like back then it's a joke. Like today, it's like just commonplace that like people are just
Deadite
talking about,
Lem
like,
would be our fucking head of national security. Like,
That
probably better than the current one.
Imagine seeing
Yeah, it
that
might
shit
be,
in the
yeah.
chat.
yeah, I don't think the Deadite would use Signal.
I don't think the Deadite would actually still be drinking as well.
No,
Like, he would have actually quit drinking.
it would actually be iced tea in that glass.
And also, funny enough, the depiction of these people is probably one of the more genuine, kind
yeah,
depictions
Yeah.
of preppers too. There's a black woman there. They're not really racist. They just hate her because she's a cop and she's with the government.
that's
So,
it.
Yeah.
You know, and
They could have gone a different way with it, and they didn't,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
But they also like they correct me if I'm wrong. Like they don't admit that they're wrong, but they see that like, oh yeah, no, we whoops,
we did it now.
yep, oh our
Yeah.
bad, yep, our bad, yep. like,
Yeah.
like they don't quite full blown say it, but at the same time, like you have that moment of like, oh no, okay, yeah, whoops.
So, yeah, you guys are you're on the good side.
Yeah.
You're not the government.
You're not the government. But I do like just the episode just kind of works. Like having Lem as this like de facto bad guy just for 25 minutes of the series works. Like he's kind of like a fun foil. It kind of brings us back to the Army of Darkness thing to a certain degree of like we're gonna chuck you in a pit with a Deadite and good luck, which is kind of a nice callback. It's a little different here because it's not really a pit; it's more of like a basement thing.
Like
It's like a
underground
bunker.
bunker.
It's like a bunker. Yeah.
Like a bunker with a slide entrance. That okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta have fun in your bunkers, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had a bunker, it'd have a slide entrance.
Man,
Let's put it
imagine
that
what their butthole looks like.
Just to clarify, everyone, he said bud hole.
Bud.
Thank you.
Bud.
Oh,
You
Bud.
should have left,
hole.
you should've left the mystery.
We
I
watch
like
a lot
to
of
be
good shows.
understood.
Yeah, we watch a lot of good shows.
We do.
It's
because we all have excellent taste. Anyway, back to
yes. So, but this is where we start losing Amanda. So the Ash and Amanda get chucked down in the bunker hole, and Kelly and Pablo run away in the woods. So they're kind of doing their own things. Kelly and Pablo will eventually come save the day, but Amanda and Ash are stuck downstairs with the Deadite Lem. And Amanda, to me, immediately in this episode feels different. Like she's gone from badass, I'm gonna fuck some shit up, to damsel in distress who needs Ash to protect her. And as we've talked many times in this show, we are all very big fans of women who fucking take charge and kick ass and take names. Seeing Amanda go from that to the damsel it's disappointing because I actually think the actor was doing a good job with the badass stuff.
There's part of it is the acceleration which it happens.
Yeah.
That they only have a couple episodes to do it, and her being a police officer, to me, for that long should have been a foundation for her to keep her edge and keep her wits about her and toughness, even if she lets her guard down. It makes more sense for the other two to just go quickly from kind of scared to hard ass, I'm gonna survive and kill stuff, because it's just like it's a quick trauma. It's like you are forced to contend with this. She's not forced to get lovey-dovey with Ash.
No.
Nothing's forcing that. Like handcuffs aren't it. She should have just as much agency as he does, and she has a moment, but it's acting as bait, pretty much. It
should have been like it reminded me of Phantasm 3 with Reggie and Rocky, but they should have kept it on a similar level to that, where like Ash is like constantly hitting on her and she's just like fuck off. Like but it's weird that like she kind of goes with it in this one, and not
just like goes with it, is into it, like like by the end of the next episode, which we'll get to here in a minute, like she's cool hooking up, and then she's hooking up with the wrong Ash. She doesn't know that at the time, but like
what I can see as bothersome is, she is discovering all this evil and trying to uncover this plot, and she's a strong character, and she doesn't really need backup for anyone. She proves that she can do it, and then she faces multiple foes, and she's still able to come out ahead. She faces one guy in a bunker, and she needs Ash to protect her.
The math doesn't math. Like it doesn't work. Which is a bummer because I think up to this point I've enjoyed Fisher's character. She's definitely been the straight man, like the fish out of water. She's not really meshing with everybody well, but it kind of worked because of that. Like Pablo and Kelly get into it so fast. Like Kelly's like, nah, I don't believe anything. Okay, good. They killed my parents in front of me pretty brutally. Let's rock and roll. I'm gonna fuck these things up. Like
it added back tension to that group where the three of them congealed so quickly. It feels better when there's something that is a little forced pushback a little bit, and it also creates a little bit of the is there going to be a schism here? Are they going to break off into faction stuff? It added a little bit of question mark to the dynamic.
And so
it adds
like
conflict. It's like you kind of lose that conflict with the characters, it's a shame really, but like looking at where it goes, I can kind of see why they did that. I just would have liked to have seen more of a build up towards it because it is very whiplashy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it unfortunately kind of takes Fisher or Amanda and kind of turns into a long-winded red shirt. Like, and that's what I'm not a huge fan of, because you're given this character and it didn't feel like it felt like if we were going to build up this character to inject them in the show, it felt like more of like getting robbed when she got killed.
Well,
versus
especially if you think that she's going to be the badass that she is, especially one that's going to go, and fight toe to toe with Ash, like in league with, she's already proven that she's better than Kelly and Pablo.
Yeah.
In terms of capability, but it all goes the wayside with this episode, which is a huge disservice.
Well, next episode technically, but yeah.
Same thing, potato.
I mean, I get
in this podcast,
I get what they were kind of going with a little bit. I think they were trying to make a point of like, in this series, not everyone is going to survive. Like people who you think are the main characters are not the main characters. But I don't know. It just doesn't really feel right because, like you said, her character changes so much when she does actually join up. It's almost like, oh, did you just run out of things to do with the character and then you just kind of wanted to offer, or was that always the plan? But then it's just, it's strange.
There's still a bit of gut punch to me too, because she's been in this show since the beginning.
She's in every episode,
And so up to this point, I was, despite some of the character change, I was hoping she would become a more permanent fixture of the group in that way. To your point, Brian, it made sense, and it's probably for the better given how the character arc, or however you want to describe it, went. But there's missed potential, I think, is what comes to mind.
I think for me, it's just another one of those instances that bothers me in shows like this, where they're so good that, we know we're watching a puppet show, but when it's this good, you kind of forget about the strings. Mm-hmm. And this one, like moments like this, you kind of see the strings. And it's like, because I've seen her go toe to toe with many a thing in this show, and she's come out on top, and it's been believable. I've seen Pablo and Kelly do it, and it looks like they're getting through by the skin of their teeth, barely surviving. And it's like, okay, they've got a lot of plot armor on them, and like you can see that plot armor, and then to see hers just disappear, it's like, okay, that's where I'm seeing like we need her character to go because we need this to be motivation, and it kind of turns it almost into a refrigerator, and that's where I'm like, I'm not a fan of this. Like we're better than this, and we've been better than this throughout this entire series. So like, not a huge fan of how they deal with her character, especially as we're moving into the next episode where she eventually gets offed. Like if we've mentioned pretty much everything about Fire in the Hole, with the exception of we didn't mention that Ruby comes back. She climbs out of the funeral pyre. All of her clothes is burned off. Then she goes and finds out she's lost the hand, right? That's essentially all we've done with. That's all she really does in this episode.
Yeah, she goes back to a car and sees the hands gone and is like, huh.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't really touch on the B story, but between the other two and trying to find their way out.
Them in the back of the truck, I could not stop laughing during that.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, we should talk a little bit about that.
Like their whole scheme to try to get the gun and take out the one guy. I like how it fails.
Yeah. It's like immediately as well.
But it's just a split second that think like, yeah, they pulled it off and just swept under the rug completely.
Well, and it's great because just the driving, like everything about those moments when they're driving, and the gore, the humor, the duo of Pablo and Kelly, they were extremely funny. Get the mask. I don't want to get the mask.
Yeah, that whole conversation is fantastic as well.
Good.
You need
it's
to
like
be incognito. I'm okay.
Come on, I'll wipe it off with my shirt.
Yeah.
That thing is full of blood. You're not gonna wipe it off.
I like how slippery it is as well. Like when the blood starts going everywhere, and he's just like literally
Kelly
slip and sliding all over the back of the thing.
Kelly's shooting the gun and she gets kicked back, thinking that she can handle the M18. So.
Yeah, I also appreciate that she just didn't go full badass with that.
Right.
And this elongated scene of him ducking up and down, scared out of his life while she's trying to be Rambo.
Oh, and just like the dialogue they have throughout that is great. Like, please don't shoot me. It's not my fault. What fault is it?
The stupid guns. Like trying to blame the gun.
That whole moment, that whole scene is very quotable. But I wish that there could have been a line from there, and I'm hoping what some of you guys haven't, but it was very hard for me to pick a line, but I picked one that was not this scene.
I picked one that was not that scene too. I think mine's a Lem quote. I actually don't remember where it came from. I just remember laughing when it was said, but we'll get to that in like 20 minutes or so. Anything else in that sequence we should talk about? I do love them just blowing the one Deadite on the wall. So good stuff.
The conversation about them trying to figure out what his weapon would be.
Oh
yeah,
I found my quote.
Man, I wish I had my rusty chain right now.
No. But I do. Okay, so I will mention this one thing. Then we'll move into Ashes to Ashes. Fire in the Hole to me feels like they're learning that the audience probably doesn't give a fuck about the Kelly Pablo ship. Like it doesn't work. The romance doesn't work. Stop pushing it. They do not have that chemistry. I don't remember if it goes that way. Ryan, does it?
No.
Okay,
I can't remember. I watched this show originally maybe 10 years ago, so I can't remember, but I don't think it does. I can't remember. I really can't.
They briefly tease the idea that it could still be a thing in the next episode with the whole he has a girlfriend comment.
Yeah.
When they meet the new people, but they don't have a chemistry.
No,
it
feels like the show's learning
I think by season 2, it becomes more of like a brother sister type of relationship. Yeah. I think that's what I vaguely remember more of season 2 being like.
It's one of those things with like if you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like when Boyle is super into Rosa, it's like this isn't working. You can get rid of this plot line, and then eventually the show's like, "Hey, we should get rid of this plot line." It's like, it didn't work. And it's kind of like the Pablo Kelly thing. So like this one, like that moment of like, who am I? You're a good person. Like, no. Like, am I a gun guy? I have that written down for my quote. But it's like,
to be fair, that's a very open-ended existential question.
It is. Yeah. All right. So let's move into Ashes to Ashes. We get some, I believe, red shirts introduced in this episode. They're not red shirts in this episode, but, there are 3 people heading towards a cabin that Evil Dead was in.
Well, they passed it. So that was the thing, like, because one of them's we walked past it, like, it would have been nice to stay there, but somebody made us keep going. But I think they go back with Pablo and Kelly, so...
We'll find out next.
They're gonna die at some point.
I forget. Was it the last episode where Ash tries to sneak out on him, or was it the beginning of this one?
Oh, honestly, that would be the end of Fire in the Hole. Like that's the last that we should have talked about. So like they're all getting ready to go to the cabin. They've all agreed that like we've all gone through shit. We should all go to the cabin. And Ash is like, "You're right. We should." And
they start walking off the end of the road, and he dips out.
He just kind of homers into the bush. And good for him to actually like. Oh, he actually.
I mean, it also shows how scared he is of the cabin. Like at this point, he's just like, "Yeah, come along, join me for all this." But then when it's like we got to go back to the cabin, it's like, "Oh, I'm not taking these people here." And there's genuine like fear of that cabin.
It's also a glimmer of the kind of savvy he can have when
Yep.
he's dealing with people too, because he's always the bumbling hero, but there's always it's like the Batman moment of somebody's talking to you and then he's gone.
Yeah. Ash pulled one of those off somehow. He is a superhero. But him going, so we finally get back to the cabin. We've been talking about it now for a few episodes, since the Brujo episode where he had his vision and his lizard told him to go bury the book. It's a weird show.
It's a weird sentence to say, right?
Yeah.
His lizard told him to bury the book.
I was kind of surprised they went to the cabin back so quickly. I mean, I don't know, Brian, maybe this is a situation where they didn't expect a whole season, more than a whole season. But
Yeah, like it feels like this was like, oh, we got one. Let's put all of our let's not wait around to see if we get a season 2 for our good ideas. Just do it while we've got it.
Yeah,
right.
I think it was one of those series where it was literally like every season could be the last one.
Yeah.
Like I think they were in that situation of like, well, I think the reason the series was actually ended up being cancelled is because nobody knew where to watch it as well. Like nobody knew what Stars was.
Season 3 viewership went down quite a bit, and I think that's at that time Stars had raised their prices, so a lot of people were like, "Man, we're out."
I mean,
Or it went to subscription based. I can't remember.
I mean, even non-season 3 numbers were never great. They never even got to they never even rated a 1. Like their best was like a 0.4. Like they never did great. Like they did a little bit better than CW numbers, like a little better. So take that for what you will. The fact they kept going is impressive, and hey, it gave us something to talk about.
Yeah, and we got 3 seasons out of it. It's pretty good going.
And the Evil Dead fandom is still alive and well. Like that's how we got Evil Dead Rise. We're getting more Evil Dead. I think either end of this year or next year. Like this, it makes sense. But let's get back into Ash and Ashes. So we have Ash is finally getting back to the cabin. He brings his chainsaw arm, his shotgun, and the book, and he's there, and he's ready. And it's almost immediately like the cabin is remembering you. Like this is, it's not great. And I love the way they do it. Like they kind of, unfortunately, they do kind of ignore Army of Darkness, which was the major complaint with this series moving forward. I don't think they even referenced it till season 3. If that sounds right.
I think it was a rights thing, though. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Like they only had the rights to the first 2 films because Army of Darkness was Universal, I think.
That sounds right. I think we talked about this on like the first episode. Like that sounds right. Which is fine.
It is a huge shame, but I gotta say they did an amazing job recreating that cabin. Like bear in mind that they shoot this in either New Zealand or Australia, so they did not go back to the same location. It looks like the same cabin though.
Is it
They
hard
did
to
great
make
with
cabins in New Zealand or Australia?
And I'm sure they had to build
Sort of
this.
zoning regulations, certain types of wood they have to use.
Probably.
Yes. I know this. I know the zoning regulations of Australia like the back of my
He
hand.
poses good questions, damn it.
Just look
There's no crocodiles though, which is like that is against the rules. You need at least one crocodile on your property in Australia at any time.
And one huge unexplainable spider because you're in Australia. So good luck.
And then a snake, and then it's kind of even money which is gonna kill which, the spider or the snake.
That's why I won't go to Australia.
The food chain is weird in Australia. Let's put it that way.
Everything is weird in Australia. Everything. Anyhow,
Back to the cabin.
let's talk Ash Ashes. Drink every time I say that this episode. You're gonna be fucked up. I enjoy Ash returning to the cabin. Like I kind of enjoy everything about it. From the honey, I'm home to him just kind of walking around. I love hearing all the original clips from both movies. I like that they use both movies a little bit. Like that's a really nice touch because it kind of validates that they are 2 movies. Even though they don't really
like the little audio flashbacks are just great though. Like
they work really well. But it gets
because it's like it's there's the bit as well where they do the thing with the little bench things, the swing bench swinging itself, and he looks at it.
I love that callback.
And you hear the audio from the film as well, and it's just like that's so well done. Like,
and just like the first movie, as soon as he gets on the porch, it stops swinging. Like it's like, this is good. I like this.
I think for the first season, naturally it had to come back to the cabin. I think if they would have tried, like, naturally it had to go back because You want to make sure you're bringing back nostalgia, not necessarily in the realm of what nostalgia is considered today, but for this course of action, what are you going to do? Go back to medieval Europe? No, going back to the cabin, to the root of the problem, will allow you to branch off for other season. I think they played it well.
And they couldn't go to medieval Europe because they didn't have the rights for that. So yeah.
It does give them a chance to kind of leave the past behind a little bit and chart their own path.
Yeah, and that's great, and it kind of has that feeling to it too, but also has this feeling like there's impending doom attached to that cabin. Like we felt that since we did the first movie. As soon as you walk in, it's like this isn't going to go the way you planned. Like no matter what plan you had, no matter what plan Ash had, he knew it wasn't going to go the way that he wanted it to. And he tried to get ahead of that by telling the people not to show up. And they're just like, no, we're coming. And poor Amanda is the one who shows up. And he warned everyone, if you show up, you will die.
The sequence of him actually arriving in the cabin, like walking in and all that, so you get that sense of dread. Like they do a really good job of setting all of that kind of like, oh shit, this is not going to end well.
Even with the one-liners. He has this sense of humor here. He's post Army of Darkness where he's gotten that bravado, but even in spite of that, it's like there's a density in the air that he can feel the moment he steps in there.
Yeah, well, Bruce Campbell does a really good. I think like Bruce Campbell doesn't get the credit he deserves, like acting wise. Like because when he does stuff like this, it's really good because like the bravado and the one-liners you see him using. You can see that with the way that he's delivering them in this moment that he is doing it out of fear. He's using the humor as a defense mechanism.
But the flip side of that, Matt, is the fact that he's got the dual personality. It's called Ash to Ash for a reason. We're back to good Ash and evil Ash, and you see both personas completely different, especially when he's talking about his hand. Oh, that? Like, it's great. Like
it's great. But before we get to that, I want to talk about, so Amanda shows up, and she's like, I'm here. What are we doing? Like, how are we gonna figure this stuff out? And like, I love him talking about the cabin because he doesn't know this for sure, but he is very positive. No one's been here since him, and he's right. And like, so she's like, all right, I'll run out to the shed to grab. I don't remember what she had to go grab. And he's like, I don't know about that. And it's like, my ex was out there. Your ex's body out there? Oh, part of her.
Give her the cliff notes how he lost his hand and what he did to her, and
she danced around as a skeleton. Like just him explaining it.
It's so good. But then we get there, and the skeleton is still in the vice. Like her head is and still
the skull's still there. Yeah,
and like as soon as he's in there, like that head's coming back to life. Like it's just a skeleton, but it's like that's going to be a head here, and it's going to talk to him, and he's not going to like it. And they did such a good job with it. Sounded just like her, looked like her. It was very well done. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was all good.
And when she starts like she's sitting there and she's talking away, and then it's like, oh, maybe you prefer me with the chainsaw in my head. And then like you see like the invisible chainsaw cutting in her head as well. It's so well good. It's like, it's just because it's so kind of like gnarly, but also it's what the Deadites would do. Like we've seen how they like to play with Ash. We've seen their sense of humor, and it just like it matches 100% with what they would do in this. Like it is about torturing him, and this is the like ultimate torture, making him relive that.
It's taken the show from like this fun revisit to Evil Dead to we're just back in Evil Dead now. Like it's like, we're just doing this again, which is, and not in like a negative way. It's like, we're revisiting this in the way that I'd want to. Like this is like Train Spotting 2, but for Evil Dead. That's a good reference if you didn't get it.
What I liked about the shed too is they focus so much on Amanda's danger throughout most of this, and Ash's experience is being trapped and mocked and taunted by his ex-girlfriend, and they wait just long enough before introducing danger to him, where you're sort of taken by surprise a little bit. Yeah, when they start throwing the saw blades at him, it's like, wait, no, that's right, he is in danger too. They just hadn't laid into him yet.
Right.
Yeah, they were playing with their food. Like they're going back to their favorite meal.
I was just about to say exactly the same thing. Yeah, they're playing with him like before trying to kill him. So it's like, oh yeah, he is in danger, but they're gonna draw it out. They're gonna enjoy. They're gonna savor the flavor.
It kind of goes to like that Pennywise of he likes to make kids scared because they taste better when they're scared. Like that's the whole reason he scares them. And then you get that from Deadites too. It's more fun to kill them when they're terrified. So like if we just kill them off the bat, like who cares? Like that wasn't fun. I want to have fun. Which again works for the demons that we met in Good Place. Like this all tracks.
Terror's sweat must be a hell of like a baste or something for your meat.
But I do like
these are the word based in that context.
It's a rough word, isn't it? So now we're at the point
savory like flavoring.
We've seen the hand crawling in the house. We've seen it spout in the eyeball, and then we finally see what it's become, which is this very big man Ash thing, and it hits on Amanda successfully, and she does not catch on that it's not him. Although I think it's pretty obviously not Ash from the get-go.
It's way too suave. Like it's like Ash. Like he should be wearing a tuxedo. He's that suave, or like a smoking jacket or something.
Like it just. I'm not saying he didn't work, but like the impersonation of like the fact that Amanda, accomplished cop, didn't see through it when he's at his most terrifying place is just like this doesn't work. Like this is why I don't like what they did with Amanda, because it's all of her character stuff is out the window.
It's first movie acting. It's not great.
Yeah. It just did not work for me, and I'm filling in blanks here. I don't think it worked for the actor either, because her acting quality takes a dive too.
Do you think that she knew that she was out the door and she was like, F it?
Kind of feels like it. I'm not saying for sure. Because up until now, I thought she was fine in this show. But then once she's in the cabin, it's like, what is this? Like it just, her flirting with Ash does not work for her character. And I don't want to blame the actor, because I don't think it's necessarily her fault, because that's what was written. But it just does not work. And then you get the reveal that it's, bad Ash, and then she bites it, and her death scene is rough, and it's like it's rough in the way of like Evil Dead rough. So I'm like, I'm fine with it, I'm not complaining, but it's like, oh, that sucks. Just like your partner.
It's really good as well, the way that like again, like Bad Ash plays with it. So it's like, watch your step. Oh, like when she falls backwards, it's just like, oh man, just this is kind of like, I can picture this. This would not feel out of place if it was exactly like word for word in like the first Evil Dead film. Like, like it feels like we're back.
It's nice and dewy and gory and unsatisfying.
Yeah. But I do like that she gets to dice the hand off. Like you get that moment. She thinks she's going to win. But I was like, nah, damage is done. It doesn't really need the fake hand anymore. Kind of a bummer. But it's a cool scene that, Bruce Campbell got his hand cut off again. And
then it chopped up into little pieces as well. Like I like that, where she's like, you chopping it up into like chunks.
She had a really good plan, but the rest of him was still there, and it wins.
Yep.
Poor Amanda gets full blown deer pronged, and that's the end of her. Meanwhile, we have Kelly and Pablo out in the woods, and that's where they meet the Samara Weaving character and all them, and they're just splitting up, all looking for the cabin, right? Like that was the whole plan.
Those two are looking for the cabin. They're trying to follow Ash, and they come across these three hikers.
Okay, and then they're going to lead them back to the cabin later.
See, this is one of the problems I had a little bit with the way this plays out is, do any of them have any idea where the cabin is? Like, it's very weird that they all managed to basically find the cabin or get at least close enough to it.
These guys were just hiking, and that's
no. I mean like
Amanda,
Pablo,
real fast.
and Amanda. Yeah, like it doesn't work for me. Like, and it's weird that like they split up, but they don't split up really. They just like Amanda goes off on her own, and Pablo and Kelly are like, if they really split up, like, oh well, let's cover more ground. They should all be out on their own,
right?
But she's Schrodinger's character. She's great and terrible at the same time.
Yeah. It is really strange though. Like it's the one thing that hasn't worked for me so far throughout this series is that this episode, there's just something a bit off with the setting, like how it's setting up and stuff like that.
No, I don't disagree. Like, but I get what the writers are doing to a certain point. I think of like we need to get the characters in the cabin. Like we have 8, 9, 10, and then we're done. And we could be done forever. So we want to get in the cabin. We're going to get enough characters in the cabin that'll be fun to kind of make juicy kills out of. Let's just get there. And it works, but it also works in the way of like, it's what I mentioned earlier. We're seeing the strings more. Like, we don't need Amanda anymore, so we're gonna just kind of exit her. We're gonna give her an off ramp, and there that goes. It just what has been working so well and being like organically funny now feels more written. And while it still works, Bruce Campbell's still delivering great stuff, and I'm still loving the show. It's like these are like the first times I'm like, oh, there's some bruises on this banana, and that it's not great, but it's not the end of the world either. Like, it's not bumping me or losing me. Like, if I was watching this not for the podcast, it's not like I'm turning this off. I'm still having a good time overall.
Yeah, you looked past it when you're not trying to give a critical eye to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we're being harsher on it, but that's because this is the first time we've had something harsh to even talk about, really.
And
it's the thing is,
it's still not a bad episode.
What's great is,
episode.
On IMDb, this is one of the top rated episodes.
Yeah,
because to be honest, what's in it is good stuff. It's just like there's just a few moments in it. It just bumps me a little bit because, like, logically, it doesn't make sense.
You're missing the connective tissue that puts it all together, and
right.
it made sense.
Yeah.
This is also the most watched episode.
That's
of the first season. Yeah. Oh no, the finale was the most watched. That one got all the way up to 500,000 views. This one was at 4.65. But yeah, it is a very good episode, but I also think because it's such a good episode, it feels like they were trying harder. And when you try harder, there's going to be a few misses, and that's what we're able to grab onto. But all in all, like, I have a great time watching this. It's a lot of fun. It feels like we're back in the Evil Dead land, which I know we're kind of leave throughout the rest of the series, and Ash vs. Evil Dead becomes its own beast, and I love what it becomes, and it's great. But like Joel mentioned earlier, you kind of need to leave the past behind, and that's what they really do in the end of season 1, at least for the most part.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we have not talked about in this that we absolutely need to talk about?
I don't think so.
I think we did a good job then.
Yeah. Covered everything.
Are we ready for quotes?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. All right. Ryan gets to go first.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yep.
Yeah, I missed my chance.
Okay, hold on. I gotta open up. So this is when they were in the catacombs with Lem, and this is what I kind of referenced in that last episode about kind of going against archetype in terms of what Ash is. But Amanda is all scared, and she goes, "Are we gonna make it out of this?" And Ash goes, "No, but I'll say yes just to keep hope alive."
That's a good one. And then he got out of that.
Yep.
Hope works. So I was going to go with the "Who am I" quote, but then I forgot I'd written down one earlier that just like right out of the gate made me laugh, and I got to keep it. So Kelly is on her like very bloodlust streak. She wants to murder everything, and she wants her new gun. She wants to go meet with the militia and get her new gun. And she says something about it, and Bruce just looks at her and goes, "Don't worry, Annie Oakley, you'll get your gun." Pretty great. And we forgot to mention last week what my favorite moments in the entire thing. So I'm just gonna bring it up now. This is from episode 6, last week's podcast. Pablo with the grenade launcher. I think I found my boomstick. It just goes. Everyone looks up. It's like, damn it, Pablo! It's a huge explosion 10 yards away.
Funny thing is, it's a rocket launcher as well. So that should have just gone. Like.
I love like
miles away. Something it would have come back down and like there'd be a school bus full of kids like.
Just that sound effect of. Way to go, Pablo. Sorry, I took a detour.
The look on his face when he does it as well, like he's just like.
Sorry, I felt really bad not bringing that part up. That was so funny. But all right, Matt, what's your episode 7?
That was episode 7 as well, by the way.
I thought it was end of 6.
No, it's the end of 7 because it's at the militia camp.
Oh, okay, great. Then I took 2 by accident. Go me.
So mine's it's when they're in the bunker and it's Lem and Ash. It's like, "Hello, Ash. Good to see you again. Wish I could say the same, Lem. You never wanted to drink with me, Ash. You said I was a bad drunk, that I liked firewater. That's before I knew it was racist."
Ash, much like Peacemaker, he's just trying to be better. You got to give him some time.
Ash, it's more begrudging, I think.
That's true. Yeah, Peacemaker does not know he's a douchebag, and he's like, "I'm what? Oh no, I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm a hero."
Thing is, I have to wonder, would Ash have said anything about that if Fisher had been white? Though, like, would he have? Because he's still trying to get in her pants at that point as well.
That's true. I don't know. All right, Joel, you get 2. 7
All
and
right.
8.
I'm gonna get you pregnant later, but won't your sister be jealous of us?
In the back of the truck.
It's a good Kelly line.
That is a good Kelly line.
Very good, that, yeah.
Episode 8. Mate, we don't want any trouble. Yeah, if you want to rob us, we have no money. I have pepper spray. I will shoot. Is that a flare gun? Oh. No. It's all right. We're the good guys. These guns, they're for evil bears. Evil bears. There's evil bears in these woods. We're actually really friendly people. We are so friendly.
Well played, Joel, because that was mine. I've got others.
Okay. All right.
That was a good one. All right, Matt, go ahead.
No, I'll go with the short one. I was looking at a long one I've got, but I was like, nah, I prefer this other one. Wow, last time I was here with a girl, I was hoping to get laid. Didn't quite work out that way. I did cut off my own hand with a chainsaw, though. It was a fun weekend.
That was my alternate.
Yeah, that's on the short list.
I do not remember where my quote came from. I don't remember the context around it, but I remember laughing really hard when I wrote it down. Just death, taxes, and more death. And I don't pay taxes, so all I know is death.
It's really talking about like why everyone dies. Like I had that one, but I had the whole line as well. So it's like, don't you get it? Everybody dies here. It's just a rule. He's talking about like the cabin. So that's the context.
Okay, mine is. There's so many lines in this.
Speaking of death and taxes, did we just kill Brian?
We might have.
Drink some taxes right there.
Ash walks into the shed and sees. Oh, he's gone.
He's dead. He's literally dead. We killed him.
Do we keep going? I don't know what to do.
Just keep going.
Recording.
I don't know what to do. Our fearless leader's gone.
He's dead.
He's dead.
The taxes killed him.
Jesus.
He knows only death.
There was a coffee ground in that coffee. I was just joking. That hurts so much.
I like how we're all laughing. It's like, he's so funny. He's gonna be
And
dead,
he's
like,
literally
literally
dying.
choking to death.
Whew.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm
My
back.
line is so many great lines. A lot of you took my alternates, but there's still one that I really laughed at. He walks into the shed and sees the skull, no flesh on or anything, and he goes, "Long time no see, Linda. Don't get up."
I also
God.
wrote down. I don't remember who yells it, but I love that somebody yelled out "Time to die." That was thrown out in there. All good stuff.
I put her head in a vice and I cut it with a chainsaw. She did have a rockin' bod though.
Well, just before that was like she got possessed. I cut her head off with a shovel. Then she did this crazy dance in the moonlight.
I know this is after quotes, but the Ash versus Ash fight where they're calling out all their physical ailments as they
Holy
exploit-
smokes!
Oh my God, that is,
Yeah.
that is so
On the shoulder.
trick knee.
soft testicles.
Soft testicles might be the best.
Yep.
Honestly, I kind of count that as a quote because, like, the reason it's funny is the shit they're yelling out. Like, and it's just so. Like, it takes
It's the added like physicality of it as well. Like they're yelling it out and then kicking, like kick him in the balls, like hitting him in the knee and like slamming. Was it a piano or something against his shoulder?
That's the closest that they got to Army of Darkness, but it's just not quite as madcap, and it's more grounded, which makes more sense to where they are and just the age of Ash, right?
Yeah. I mean, Army of Darkness is its own beast, and I mean that as a compliment. Like, you couldn't take that fully and put it in really anything but Army of Darkness. but I like the callback, and it works well. And just being the old man fight and just yelling about all their old man problems is just
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell soft testicles are, but I really hope I never have to deal with it because it sounds.
I think it's just testicles when you hit them, like it's gonna hurt. Like,
Then why say soft? It's just weird.
I don't know.
All right.
It's such a
also
weird
soft-
thing in like.
Also, soft testicles implies that there's hard ones.
Yeah, I guess that's true as well. Which is
Yeah.
Time to
Where
end the
balls-
there's a lot of weird things there. But all right, so next week we have Bound in Flesh coming up, which will be Pablo and Kelly versus the Two Ashes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which will be fun. And then we have the season finale, which is called The Dark One. Moving ever so quickly along. Like this show is going to go pretty fast, and then we're already into season 2. Next time we record, we will be recording the first 2 episodes of season 2. You won't hear that for another couple weeks, but that will be recording. And then get through seasons 2 and 3, and then we'll get to Evil Dead Rise. It's just going to keep moving. I'm really enjoying all the Evil Dead stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a fun show to talk about.
It's gory but fun. Like,
Yeah.
we've got that nice balance of like we're doing something that's really super violent, like which is kind of our shtick, but it's also fucking hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, when we get to the one that I keep talking about, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the fun will go away. The violence will stay. Yeah, I mean, there are some very unintentionally hilarious Texas Chainsaw movies.
Two's great. I love
Two's goofy. Like two's
It's goofy, but it's good.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, like I think
first
Toby
kill,
Hooper
you
described 2 as red humor instead of like black humor, like
Yeah.
gory humor.
I could see that.
Dennis
Part one
Hopper
is-
wielding dual chainsaws. Come on.
I mean, that's fun.
It
Whereas
is.
like part one
Dennis
is
Hopper,
like,
at the hardware store trying it out is
Yeah. It's
great.
fucking hilarious.
moving it.
yeah. I'm
Just the guy
excited.
looking at him like,
I'm excited to get to Texas Chainsaw. Like, I'm not sure if we'll do something in between this and that. We probably will. That won't be quite so blood soaked, but I'm excited to get to Texas Chainsaw. Like, I own all this Texas Chainsaw merch, and I've never watched all the movies, so I think I've only missed one, but either way. All right, so I'm gonna keep skipping plugs because it just takes a lot of time, and people usually turn off the episode by then anyway. So, bye.
Bye.
trick knee.
Joel didn't say bye. I'm letting him. Like, I'm giving him all this time to say bye.